Oh, it's right there.
Come on.
Should I let it fight out?
Okay, good. Nice. This is the Carolina rig. Every old person swears by this rig because you set your rod down and you do nothing. Look, this guy set his rod down and now he's cooking a steak. This guy set his rod down, now he's sitting on the chair. You just do nothing. So this is how it works. You get trout, bass, catfish, panfish, any fish you can. Any fish. If you have the right bait for it. But this is how the setup works. You have your rod down in a rod holder, or you have it leaned against something, maybe like a stick like that. That works too. And you have a bell on there, or if you have nothing else to do, you can just watch it. Your main line going down to a swivel with some weight. You have your leader line coming up to a hook, and your bait. The most important thing is the leader line has to be taller than the grass, the weeds, the algae. It has to be taller than it. So the fish on the bottom, the fish likes to hang out down here, and then they look up. They have their peripheral visions looking up. So, whoa, they see a bait right here. They see some food right here, and then they swim up and get it. And then when they get it, the bell's going to go crazy, and then that's when you just reel it in. That's when you stop cooking your steak and start reeling in your fish. The setup is super easy. If you understand from the diagram, you don't even need to watch this anymore. Anyways, there are three main weights you can use, main type of weights. You have the egg weight. This is an inline egg weight, which you connect it to a swivel. And then you have this, which mimics an inline weight and a swivel. The one drawback to this is the inline one can slide freely up and down on your line, so it doesn't mess with the bait enough, versus this doesn't slide. Or you can use a drop weight with a snap swivel. In this video, I'll show you my favorite. This one's my favorite, the egg weight with this thing, with a swivel. And then a hook. You want the bait to float. You want the bait to float above the algae. So mess around with a different size of hook or different bait, so then it floats above the algae. And then 6-pound leader because where I'm fishing, they stock some big trouts, so just in case. Anyways, let's get started. So first thing I do is I slide the egg weight through, and then I attach one of these small little beads so then it protects the knot. And it looks a little better, just like this. And now I just type a simple fisherman's knot. If I'm feeling it, I'll probably make an improved fisherman's knot, improved clinch knot, but that's not really necessary. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'll just do normal fisherman's knot. You don't really need anything fancy. Boom. And then pull everything through. Cinch that down. Since this is braided, you don't even need to lick it. You don't need to get it wet. And you do not need to cut this tag in. This tag in does not matter at all. Now for the leader. Maybe 1 or 2 feet depending on the lake. If it's a really algae heavy lake, you want 3 or 4 feet. But for the purpose of this demonstration, I'm just using a little bit, maybe a foot. If you don't know how much leader to use, just ask someone. They'll be more than happy to tell you. Or if you see someone catch a fish, walk over saying, "Oh, how much leader are you using?" And then you just feed this through. Boom. And then maybe 6 times. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then feed this through. Come on. Feed this through the eye, just like this. And since this is fluorocarbon, give it a quick lick. Cinch this down. Nice. Now this is tight. You do not need to cut down this. This tag end does not need to be cut down. I don't like to cut down tag ends unless I really want to. Alright, now for the other side, I still use a normal fisherman's knot. Fisherman's knot, it is good enough. If you're using 6-pound, I think all the way up to 20 pounds is more than enough. If you're catching fish over 20 pounds, then I would suggest polymer knot or uni knot. But tiny ass fish, fisherman's knot is more than enough. Okay, 6 times. Oh, almost hooked myself. feed this through. Nice. And this is the tag end I do cut. Since this is a fisherman's knot, I'm gonna leave a little bit just in case it slips. Yeah. So now I have a freely floating egg weight. Like it freely floats. Pretending like this is the water, and here's some algae coming up. And fish is gonna bite your bait, and then if they take it, the weight's gonna slide a little bit, so then they don't feel any restriction. If you're going for stock trout, just use any power bait. I like these power eggs because my hands don't get as dirty. I just put 1 or 2 onto this hook. Just drop it first in the water to see if it floats. You need this to float. It can float upside down, float vertical, float horizontal. It doesn't really matter how it floats. It just needs to float. That's basically about it. A lot of people like to use worms to catch bass or to catch catfish. You can use whatever you want. Just make sure this thing floats. This is the bell I have attached to my rod. So my rod will be here. If the fish is on it, boom, 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 boom. I just put down my steak, put down whatever I'm doing, and then go catch my fish. Most of the time, it takes a little bit. It takes a few minutes.